What if the world's most famous smile isn't just art, but a carefully engineered illusion designed to manipulate your brain? What if the man who painted her wasn't just observing the world, but predicting it? What if sketches buried in dusty notebooks show flying machines that look disturbingly similar to modern helicopters, drawn nearly 400 years before the first successful flight? What if his habit of writing everything backwards wasn't a quirk, but a survival strategy in a time when thinking differently could get you imprisoned or executed? His name is Leonardo da Vinci, painter, engineer, anatomist, visionary. And almost everything you think you know about him barely scratches the surface. Stay until the very last second, because the final revelation might completely change how you see genius forever. Welcome back. Today, we're not telling the safe, polished version of history. We're tearing it apart. We're digging beneath the legend to uncover the real Leonardo, brilliant, obsessive, secretive, and at times dangerously ahead of his world. If you want history that doesn't just inform you, but unsettles you, hit like right now.
1452. A small, quiet village in Tuscany called Vinci. No royal bloodline, no grand palace, no elite education waiting for him. Leonardo is born illegitimate. His father, a respected notary, his mother, a peasant woman. In Renaissance society, that label, illegitimate, closes doors before they even open. He doesn't receive a formal classical education like other wealthy boys, no Latin mastery, no advanced schooling. In fact, by traditional standards, he's undereducated. And yet, this same boy will go on to challenge art, science, medicine, engineering, even the structure of reality itself. How does someone with so little formal training end up seeing so much more than everyone else? Hold on to that question. At 14, he's sent to Andrea del Verrocchio's workshop in Florence. This is where masters are made, or forgotten. At first, Leonardo is nothing special. He grinds pigments, cleans brushes, prepares canvases, watches, learns, waits. But then something shifts, something dark, something dangerous. Leonardo becomes obsessed, not just with how the human body looks, but how it works. And so, under the cover of night, he begins dissecting human corpses. This isn't just taboo, it's illegal, punishable by severe penalties, even torture. The smell, the silence, the flicker of candlelight against exposed muscle and bone. While the rest of Florence sleeps, Leonardo is cutting into the human form, mapping it, understanding it. Why? Because he refuses to fake it. He refuses to paint lifeless figures. He wants muscles that move, skin that feels real, eyes that seem like they're thinking. And when his paintings emerge, they're different, not symbolic, not flat, not distant, alive. For the first time in history, painted humans look like they might breathe.
Now, the inventions. This is where things stop being impressive and start becoming unsettling. Leonardo begins sketching machines that simply should not exist in his time. A flapping wing aircraft, the ornithopter, designed to mimic birds in flight. A spiral-shaped aerial screw, eerily similar to a modern helicopter rotor. A parachute, centuries before anyone would successfully test one. An armored vehicle resembling a tank, a mechanical knight, a chain-driven bicycle system, even early concepts of scuba gear. All drawn with precision, not fantasy, engineering. The terrifying part? Many of these designs actually work when tested with modern understanding, but in the 1400s, they remain trapped on paper, because the world around him isn't ready. Leonardo is living in the past while thinking in the future. If your mind is already blown by how far ahead Leonardo was, hit that like button right now. And if you want more hidden history like this, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Then there's his writing. Thousands of pages, notes, diagrams, observations, but almost all of it is written in mirror script, backward. You need a mirror just to read it. The simple explanation? Leonardo is left-handed. Writing right to left prevents ink from smudging. But that doesn't explain everything, because hidden within those pages are ideas that could be considered dangerous. He studies anatomy in ways the church condemns. He questions accepted beliefs about how the body works, how the earth moves, how nature behaves. During the Renaissance, the church holds immense power. Certain knowledge isn't just forbidden, it's deadly. So what if the mirror writing isn't just convenience? What if it's protection, a code, a filter, a way to hide knowledge in plain sight?
1495, Milan. Leonardo begins work on what will become one of the most analyzed paintings in history, The Last Supper. But instead of following tradition, he breaks it completely. No glowing halos, no static, holy stillness. Instead, he captures a single explosive moment, the instant Jesus announces betrayal. Shock ripples through the room, faces twist with emotion, anger, fear, disbelief, suspicion. Each apostle reacts differently. It feels less like a religious icon and more like a frozen moment in real life. But then the theories begin. One figure, seated beside Jesus, appears softer, more delicate. Some believe it's not John, but Mary Magdalene. Others point to strange hand gestures, hidden symbols, subtle tensions. There's no visible chalice, the traditional Holy Grail is missing, and Judas holds a knife in an unnatural position. Coincidence or coded message? And then, the fatal flaw. Leonardo experiments with a new painting technique on dry wall instead of true fresco. It starts deteriorating almost immediately, cracking, fading, peeling. Even in his lifetime, it begins to decay. A masterpiece, already dying. 1503. He begins a portrait that will follow him for the rest of his life, Mona Lisa. The subject, Lisa Gherardini. But this is no ordinary portrait. Leonardo works on it, not for months, but for years. 16 years. And even then, he never calls it finished. He never delivers it. Instead, he keeps it with him, travels with it, studies it. Why? Because this painting is different. The smile isn't fixed. It shifts depending on where you look. Focus on the mouth, it feels subtle, almost sad. Focus on the eyes, and suddenly she's smiling. It's an illusion created through Leonardo's mastery of human vision. The background landscape is surreal, impossible mountains, winding rivers that don't quite make sense. Her gaze follows you no matter where you stand. And then, the mysteries. Tiny markings some claim exist in her eyes, letters, initials, theories that the face is actually Leonardo himself, disguised, hidden meanings in the folds of her clothing. Some even believe it encodes a message waiting to be decoded, but no one can prove it, which only makes it more unsettling.
Behind the art lies science far ahead of its time. Leonardo dissects over 30 human bodies, carefully documenting every detail. He draws the human heart with astonishing accuracy, capturing the function of valves centuries before medicine fully understands them. He studies blood flow, muscle structure, the mechanics of movement. He sketches a fetus in the womb, one of the first accurate representations ever created. He observes tree rings, realizing they record age and environmental conditions. He studies erosion, fossils, water currents. And quietly, subtly, he begins to question the idea that Earth is the center of the universe.
These are not random thoughts. This is a man building a scientific worldview in an era that isn't ready to accept it. And then there's Leonardo himself, not just the genius, but the human. He's known to be vegetarian, rare for his time. He reportedly buys caged birds just to set them free. He forms deep emotional bonds with young male apprentices. He never marries, never has children. Some of his projects are abandoned halfway through. Massive ideas left unfinished. A gigantic bronze horse sculpture, planned, modeled, but never completed. Paintings started, then left behind. He struggles with perfectionism, with distraction, with the overwhelming flood of ideas in his mind. By the end of his life, he has completed only a small number of paintings. And yet, those few works change the course of art forever. May 2nd, 1519. Château de Clou-Lucé. Leonardo lies dying. By his side, Francis I of France. According to legend, the king cradles his head in his final moments. A symbolic end for a man who had transcended nations, disciplines, and time itself. He leaves behind over 6,000 pages of notes. Some survive, many are lost, stolen, scattered, hidden. Centuries later, some are rediscovered, studied, decoded, still teaching us. And now, the final mystery. Some researchers believe Leonardo may have predicted the timing of his own death, encoded it, buried it in numbers, patterns, symbols. Others insist the Mona Lisa isn't smiling at all, that what we see is an illusion masking something deeper, sorrow, secrets, or a truth we still don't understand. Maybe Leonardo wasn't just ahead of his time. Maybe he existed outside of it. What hit you hardest? The mirror writing? The illegal dissections? Or the possibility that the Mona Lisa is still hiding something from us? Type it below. Like if your brain hurts. Subscribe and hit the bell for more forbidden history. See you next time.